Well, hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of In the Know with Wild Bill. And so we're going to start right off with This Week in History. And this week in history, this is being June 11th, of course, in 2017. But in June 11th, 1895 was in fact the day that Charles Duryea, yes, Charles Duryea, patented the very first automobile in the United States, the gas-powered automobile. Yes, that car in your driveway, that spindly thing that you just saw on the screen. This was called a high-wheeler and was actually very popular back in the early days of automotive industry in the United States because we had no roads and therefore you had to go over who knows what. So the bigger the wheels, the more likelihood you can get through the terrain and the lack of roads in the United States. Moving on this week in history, we have June 12th. And it was June 12th in 1991 that Mount Pinatubo first erupted. Now this is an interesting point of history for me personally, the eruption of Mount Pinatubo, because I was there. I was actually on my way back from the festivities in the Gulf War when it erupted, and I actually saw it with my own eyes and observed all of this eruption happening in the Philippines as we were passing through. So I thought that was the day. It was on June the 12th of 1991. Now it was June 13th in 1920 that the United States Post Office officially ruled that you could not mail your children through parcel post. Okay? I'm just letting you know that this was in fact on June 13th, 1920. If you want to get rid of your children by mailing them via parcel post in the United States of America, you cannot do this. And who do you have to thank? Well, you have the people that were mailing children. But nonetheless, that became a regulation on June 13th, 1920. But it was also on June 13th, this time in 1983, that Pioneer 11, the spacecraft, became the first man-made object to leave the solar system. Yes, we got something that actually was able to hightail it out of there. It was the first spaceship that we ever made that made it to Jupiter as well and took photographs of the surface of Jupiter, of the surface of the atmosphere of Jupiter, not the planet. I mean, even if it has a surface, who knows? It's Jupiter. But nonetheless, that was Pioneer 10. Exciting stuff. But let's move on. June 14th. Okay, I admit it. I'm a war vet, okay? Fought in the Gulf War, all that other stuff. I'm a Navy guy. But June 14th, for you veterans, 1775, will remember that this was, in fact, the day that the United States Continental Congress established the United States Army. Yes, the Army of the United States officially began to exist, and this was June 14th, 1775. Now on June 15th, now this time it's, of course, the year 1215. This is when King John signed the Magna Carta. Now, the Magna Carta is a very significant document. It wasn't necessarily, shall we say, enforced at first. It has been interpreted and reinterpreted many times, but a lot of what is in our own Constitution, as well as the Constitution of many other nations that establish themselves through constitutional means, derive their government principles from this document, the Magna Carta. So that was, of course, June 15th in 1215. But it was in June 16th, 1977, that our good old Russian buddy Leonid Brezhnev became president of the Soviet Union. Doesn't he look like a Russian? I mean, come on. I mean, look at that. I mean, take another look at this guy. Okay, I mean, just look at the eyebrows on this dude, okay? All right? I mean, he's like he's wearing one of those Russian hats, and it's just like built in, okay? But if you remember him, I mean, him and Jimmy Carter used to, eat peanuts together and such. I mean, whatever they did. But nonetheless, that was on June 16th. Let's move to June 17th. It was June 17th, 1950, that Dr. Richard Lawler performed the world's first kidney transplant. Yes. This was the guy who actually made it possible for you to get a new kidney. Now, for those of you who are Star Trek fans may recognize that in the movie The Voyage Home from Star Trek, where Dr. Nimoy gives a pill to a patient, and who's there for dialysis, and then later in the movie they're trying to escape, and she's going, "This doctor gave me a young doctor gave me a pill, and I grew a new kidney." Well, yeah, we're not there yet, Dr. McCoy, or Gene Roddenberry, DeForest Kelley, whatever. But nonetheless, that was on June 17th, 1950, first kidney transplant. Okay, so now we're going to talk about something that should be interesting for those of you who may or may not be, or may either are in or would like to become in love. Yes, in the know, Wild Bill, we are going to talk about love today, and specifically the languages of love. Before you get too crazy with this, let's stop and think about what I'm really talking about when I say the languages of love. Human beings, and I assume if you're watching this, you are a human being, okay? If you're not, that's okay. I'll talk to cats, dogs, everything else, etc. All right? But we only express love in 5 very specific ways. And each individual person, whoever you are, is going to have one particular method that you yourself think is personally the most important way that you give and receive love. There may be 1 or 2 other ways that you like as well, but not as much as that particular one. Now, why is this important? Because these 5 different ways to express love affect how we relate to each other in relationships of all kinds. Mind you, how you receive love and expect to get love is also going to affect how you share respect, man to man, friendship, woman to woman, man to woman, etc. Anytime that you have a necessity or a desire to show appreciation for someone, it's only going to happen in one of 5 ways. And so we're going to talk about these 5 different ways, what they are, and how we can recognize them and then use them in our own relationships today on Have You Considered? So we're going to start with the very first one. The first language of love, and this is the giving of gifts. Yes, there they are, gift giving. Now, this is some of you right now are going, yes, I love giving gifts. And you know what? To the person for whom gift giving is very important, it has nothing to do with how valuable the gift is. It's not how extravagant it is. It's the fact that they received a gift. You could give them a rock that you found in a park, and you looked at it and went, you know what? I think this person would really like this. And if you have your language of gift giving, I assure you, you will treasure that rock. Of course, not everybody has that idea of or language. Other people wouldn't really care about it. They say, okay, well, thanks, but it wouldn't mean as much. But if gift giving is your primary language, yes, this is an important language of love. Let's go to the second one. And by the way, these are not in any order of importance. They're just different. So when I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't mean one's better than, that's not what I mean at all. Okay. But the second one is going to be words of encouragement. Now, words of encouragement. as we see there. Way to go, good job, well done, you're the man, thumbs up, hey, you rock, hey, I appreciate you. You know, Rich, you do a hell of a job for a lot of people, and sometimes people don't, really appreciate you as a person, but I have to say that I appreciate you. You really work hard for everybody, you really have a heart for people, and I appreciate everything that you do. Now, for some people, their primary love language is going to be these words of encouragement. They will not only feel most loved when they receive them, they also are going to express them. Do you have that person that always says, hey, way to go, or hey, good job, or hey, love how you do? Mind you, this is somebody for whom, oops, OBS has crashed. This is somebody for whom these words of encouragement are the most important. Okay, so this is a second way that we show and express love. Let's go to the third. The third one is, of course, personal closeness, touching, feeling. It is physical and sometimes sexual. Yes, feel the hugs. Well, for some people, when they first reach you, they want to shake your hand. They want to grab your shoulder. They want to touch you. This is an indication that you have somebody who their primary love language is, in fact, personal closeness and touching. Mind you, these people also are going to tend to be more promiscuous. I'm just saying, not that they're going to necessarily, seek a lot of different people, but they are going to tend to be more sexually active with their partner, because having that physical touching and that type of closeness and that type of intimacy is extremely important to them. So let's move on to the fourth language of love. And this is acts of service. Yes. Have you ever had that person that just always wants to find your keys for you? Or wants to make you breakfast in bed for you, or is willing to go ahead and take out the trash, or fix the plumbing, or go shopping, or pick out your clothes for you? Yes, this is the person for whom acts of service are extremely important in how they express and receive love. I know this one myself very well. That's probably my number one, is acts of service, and my wife can attest to this. So let's move on to number five. Number 5. This one is called quality time. Have you ever had that one child of yours that just wanted to sit and talk? Or that one girlfriend or boyfriend that just wanted to talk with you and just wanted to get to know you and just spend time with you? Let's go to the beach. Let's go to the movie theater and let's just experience something together. This is the person for whom the love language of quality time is critical. So there you have it. These are the 5. Just to review, we have those who give gifts. We have those who appreciate words of encouragement. We have those who want personal closeness and touching. We have those who want acts of service. And of course, those who seek quality time. This is how we all express love, all of us one way or another. Now, stop and think. Think about yourself right now. How do you want to be loved? And here's the answer. You want to be loved the same way you want to give it. If you want to be loved because you enjoy personal closeness and touching, then that's what you're going to expect from your partner. In the same way, if you are an acts of service person, you'll want acts of service. If you are a gift person, you'll want gifts. If you're a quality time person, you'll want quality time, and etc., etc. Therefore, you have to remember something that's very important, that even though that may be your primary love language, that is not necessarily the primary love language of your partner. I know in my case, it certainly isn't. Now, as much as I enjoy acts of service, I love doing little things for my wife. I mean, my wife is the prettiest girl in the universe. I mean, I'm just saying it. She is. That's why I married her. I'm not stupid. But I also like to give her little acts of service. And I also feel most love when she likewise gives acts of service to me. And therefore, I love to do acts of service for her, and she therefore loves to do acts of service for me. However, I happen to know that my wife's primary love language is not acts of service. So therefore, I know that as much as I want to do it, and I'm going to give her loves that way, okay, all right, my wife particularly loves words of encouragement. And therefore, I need to be giving her those constantly. I have to every single day, if not every hour, every time I see her, I constantly give her these words of encouragement. Now, she does this for me as well, and although I appreciate it, what I really love is when she just bursts into, I'm gonna take care of your socks, I'm gonna take care of the laundry, I'm gonna make a really great Britain lunch for you, and she does all these things. But not because I expect her to, but because I also strive to love her the way she wants to be loved. Now, keep this in mind in your own relationship. Stop and think. You stopped for a minute here, and you thought about how you want to be loved. Now, think about your significant other. How does this person demonstrate they want to be loved? Well, how do they ask for love? Do they ask for gifts? Do they ask for words of encouragement? Do they ask you to spend time with them? Do they ask you, hey, let's just hug, let's just get together? Do they just start doing things for you? You have to watch for those things, because that's what's going to tell you how your significant other wants to be loved. And if you understand those, if you're in the know, if you know how you want love and you know how your lover wants it too, I'll tell you what, you are going to have some fantastic love being in the know. So let's move on to some silliness. And today we are going to talk about Wild Bill's top 10 most stupid inventions. Okay, so with our silliness, we start at number 10. And this is the car exhaust grill. Yes, this is a device that you can use to fry yourself a nice slider while you're driving down the interstate for $19.95. Okay, I mean, do you really want a burger that tastes like exhaust? Okay, that's what you've got with my number 10. Okay, here's number 9. All right. Number 9 is the iPotty. You thought training your tots how to use the toilet was tough. Well, now you have to train them how to use the toilet and an iPad at the same time. Yes, toilet training now involves electronic schooling. Come on, people. All right, look. I mean, yeah. I admit I do have a magazine rack, or next to the toilet. I'll pick up a book and read. Okay, but okay, I'll admit I've used my iPad while on the toilet. Okay, I admit, but we shouldn't be encouraging people to do that at 2. Okay, don't do that. Coming in at number 8 is the man bra. Yes. The man bra. Okay, yeah, they actually have this. Now, look, I know, I understand there are guys that really have this kind of problem that they have to get off their chest, okay? But still, I mean, do you really have to go this route? I don't know. Okay. All right, and coming in at number 7... okay, of stupid inventions is the goldfish walker. Yes, the goldfish walker. Has your goldfish just been lonely? And it's not like, I mean, if you have your dog, you take your dog out for a walk and they enjoy it, and then you have to, take your poop scoop and, keep all that with them, and then of course you want to take your cat for a walk, and your cat tells you to get stuffed, and you don't see your cat again for 2 days. But then you say, well, look, my fish is in a tank already, so I'll just take this fish for a walk. You know what? There was 2 fish in a tank, and one said to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?" Okay, but never mind. Goldfish walker. Okay, no, this is just, I'm sorry, it's just wrong on too many levels. Coming in at number 6 of just stupidest inventions, of the Wild Bill list of stupidest inventions, we have the walking sleeping bag. Okay, now I want you to just think with me for a moment about the walking sleeping bag. Okay, this isn't, I'm talking like the Snuggie, okay? It's a sleeping bag. Now, let's come on. You and me now, we're tracking grammar here, all right? Sleeping. What does that mean? You're asleep. Then why are you walking? You have what's called somnambulism. You are a sleepwalker, and therefore you have this device to allow you to do, well, I'll tell you what, if you sleepwalked after you were 12, you can't get into the military. Okay, so hey, maybe that's, if you want to get out of military service, maybe this is your invention for the future. Okay. Number 5. Okay, obviously number 5 is coming straight from Japan. Okay, when it comes to ridiculous inventions, it's hard to beat the Japanese. I mean, they're just good at it. And this one is the female lap pillow. Yes. For you lonely men that just can't find a girl that will let you just snuggle on their lap and just let you nuzzle up against them. Oh, don't you just want to have a little lap to lie in? And no, you can't. You have to buy a freaking pillow because you're just an old middle-aged Japanese guy with no love life. That is that product, and okay, that is just stupid. Okay, all right, number 4. Okay, this one is a problem. This one is a problem. Okay, this is also from Japan. This is the lipstick stencil. Okay, this is for you women that cannot figure out how to put on your lipstick. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay, what's the difference between this woman and this man? You ask me what's the difference, okay? I mean, I don't think there's that much, okay? This is just a wrong type of invention, okay? I'm sorry, Japanese, you've gone too far, okay? But now let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3, this is the toilet roll hat. Okay, now look, I've had some gastronomical experiences in my life, okay? And so sometimes I have to, stay close enough to a toilet, so that there won't be an accident. But I'm afraid that this particular hat, first of all, I ask you this, are you going to attract the attention of stray cats? Okay, you know how cats are with toilet paper? And you're wearing toilet paper on your head. How many cats are going to come after you? Okay, dangerous. But number 2. Okay, number 2. Separable pants. Yes, these are pants that zipper all the way down exactly around the middle of them, separating one leg and butt cheek from the other, so that you can mix and match them. And you can have one side pink and the other side blue, and one side long and the other side short, or whatever you want. But whatever you want, it's wrong, okay? Mix and match pants, all right? I don't even think Austin Powers would wear that, okay? I mean, that is just wrong. But it's not as wrong as what we have on the number 1 spot of the absolute stupidest inventions. Okay, are you ready for this? Okay, drum roll, please. The number 1 stupidest invention is the cat tongue. Yes, you too can licky with your cat, and yes, watch this man as he uses his own cat tongue, the licky, to lick his cat who is only slightly trying to escape and rip open his throat. Okay, look, I have 5 cats, okay? I've got Jack, Bo, Francis, Sambuca, and Donuts, okay? I got 5 cats, all right? Would I wear one of those things and actually use it to lick my cat? No, I would not do that. Why? Because I'm sane. And why would anyone buy one of those? Because they have no brains. They're kitidiots, just like my cats, okay? So, thank you. That's the silliness for today, and that's going to wrap up the show. Please watch next week, because next week we're going to be having another topic on our Have You Considered, which is going to be the 10 plagues of Egypt. You're not going to want to miss that. Big ol' shout out, of course, to Rich and Christina at Dual Phoenix. Also Mike, who's the secret man behind the curtain, keeping everything running today. And so make sure you're here same time next week, Sunday, 4 o'clock, and be in the know.